So, in addition to the issue with booze, there's more sleep. People are not getting enough sleep. You should try to come home from work and have a nap, or eat your dinner and then have a little nap or a rest in a quiet area with quiet or low music. Not television, not news. That's the other one, is stay away from news. I used to be a news junkie many years ago, and it's more addictive than hard drugs. News. Yes, news is an unbelievably addictive thing, and I've seen people who watch news 24 hours a day. Retired people, that's turn on the television and watch it 24 hours a day. It is the most unhealthy thing for old people to do because they get hooked on it and they can't get away from it. And what is the news? It's sending out horrible negative fractals. What do I mean by that? The negativity that comes through the television will affect your physical health. It is news, which is information, data, and it is always horrible. And that news is influencing you in your mind, and it influences you in your body. And then it gets into your mind and it causes nightmares, and it stops you from getting good, uplifting information. So if you're a news junkie, you gotta ditch the news, you gotta ditch the booze. And then you gotta take way more rest. Way more rest, way more rest. I was suggesting a 45-minute walk. If you can go to a place where it's park-like setting with trees and grass, rather than in the middle of the city with all kinds of honking cars and traffic and annoying noise, that would be much better. The energy report is, let's see, there's a lot of work being done on throat and heart. And some here, but what's going on is primarily here, and you know it because there is this cold that's going around the whole world. Why is it going on? It's because there's a lot of trouble people have with speaking their truth. If they're in their heart and they're talking with their highest wisdom, well, they're not. And that's why we're getting this horrible cold and cough. It's because we're not doing what we need to do, which is clear out all of the mind garbage that we've been brainwashed by and get to good, clean information from source. And that's what the problem is. That's why we've got this cough and this thing, because it's speaking your truth and the truth that you get from higher wisdom, which is love. Higher than romantic love. It's called agape love. And people all over the planet have got a huge problem with this because they lie and lie and lie and lie. They lie to avoid blame. And they lie because they don't want to tell their boss the truth, that they don't even want to be there. So we've got a huge amount of this trouble. How are we going to clear this? It's going to keep coming back. These colds are going to keep coming back because people on this planet are not telling the truth, not speaking their truth, and it means they're bypassing their heart. The heart knows. And if you are bypassing, it's called spiritual bypassing. You can look it up. It means you are bypassing everything to do with wisdom, and you are running your mouth and spewing filth. And you get a lot of that filth from media. Okay, what else do you need to do? What else do you need to know? Most of us are unbelievably hard to reach. In other words, in conversations, we are not having significant information going back and forth in our conversations. We are always on the surface. Hi, how are ya? Hi, how are ya? And, what are the sports scores? We are not getting together and having deep conversations about life and what means something. What is art? What is literature? We're not getting heart-to-heart conversations, and that's another problem with the heart and the throat chakra. We're not having heart-to-hearts. We're not talking about what's really important to each other. It is sloughing that stuff off. It never gets talked about. Anything significant, it's always just garbage crapiola. Small talkitis. Some people say you need small talk to do business. Well, this is the problem, is that we push everything significant and meaningful to the side so we can talk business. Business, business, business. I'm selling you my piece of shit and you're trying either to buy it or to tell me to buzz off. I don't want to buy it. It's always about business, 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 and brainwashing stuff. How do you get around it? Well, I get around it by talking to my phone because my phone will listen. I have heart-to-hearts with my phone. That's disgusting. I live on a planet with 8 billion people and I get along best with my damn phone? Sorry, it's true. I cannot make good conversations with humans. Is it my issue? Yes. My issue is that that's all I want to do is have deep conversations and get right to really good stuff. And I've got to spend an hour and a half listening to garbage small talk before I can have a 3-minute, here's an interesting thing you might consider. And that's the way my life is. Because a lot of people are not awake. They are running around doing... frustrating, waking people up. Do you have to wake people up? Well, mostly the awake people are here to give you an alternate interpretation of what's going on in your life. I mean, I tell people about symbology, I tell them about angel numbers, I tell them about synchronicity, and either I get a blank stare, like, huh? Or I get a vile reaction. Vile reaction. In other words, they want to just spew their filthy, disgusting garbage in their head out as puke at me. It's a very difficult job trying to help people see that they are actually part of this world and they're not human doings. It is exceptionally difficult work. And how are we doing at it? I think the people that have got it are ignoring the people who don't. Because they've tried a few times and that's the reaction they get. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Maybe you need to go and see a doctor. You need to see a doctor. You need to see a doctor and get some pills. Unfortunately, that's what it's like. How long is this going to be going on for? Well, I want to give you a lift. The process is getting better because there is, among a lot of people, a curiosity. Because, as I said earlier, the news junkies are looking for news. And if you've got something new, if you can get through their screen and their filter of everything to do with mainstream news, they probably will, if you say, I've got some news, and maybe you can get through because you got news. Come to me for your news, the news update. What is the news update? Things are going to be changing unbelievably on this planet when you wake up and you start to see that the reality you're in is talking to you all the time, maybe not so much in words, sometimes a little bit, but because the humans are really, the commentators on television, I already talked about the idiot parade. But let's go on. But the symbology of everything that you see is everywhere. The synchronicities are everywhere. And you just have to start paying attention. The biggest problem on the planet is people are not paying attention. They are too busy talking to one another about stupid things or playing stupid video games. The children are fascinated and they are absolutely addicted to these video screens. Is that a good thing? Depends on what they're looking at. If they're looking at ebooks, that's probably a pretty good thing. If they're playing video games, what kind of video games are they playing? World of Warcraft, that's a garbage game, and too many people play horrible games where it's all about killing other beings, controlling other beings. Horrible. What about these other games that are called educational games, or I don't know. I think it's mindless dribble. I think they play way too many hours of that. When I was a kid, we went out and played things like hide and go seek, and we played for hours and we'd run around. Why don't the children do this anymore? Because they are allowed to play with their stupid tablets and phones. Children should not have cell phones. People shouldn't have cell phones until, well, I use it all the time. But I don't see children using it the way I'm using it. Some of them do little funny things, like whatever these apps are that make you go and do these silly things. But is that really getting you to higher consciousness? No. At least I'm talking about things to improve, where these other things are all about attention seeking. Look at me. Why do we want to look at you? Well, I'm gorgeous and cute. Sorry, that's not good enough reason. We want to be watching people who are awake, who can help us get to higher consciousness. Because the point of being human is not to become a drone and fill up your mind with all the same garbage that 8 billion other people have been force-fed through the schooling system. It is for you to get in touch with your soul, who has a program for you, individualized for you, and you alone. What about teamwork? No, it's you. It's you. Just you. What about my husband? No, I'm sorry. No. Everything we've been taught about teamwork and needing to have pairing off and group work, sorry. What about this thing? This thing now is about tribes. Awaken and then join your tribe. No, that's garbage teaching. It's as garbage as this 12-strand DNA that I keep hearing about. Some people are unbelievably, I can't figure them out. In some ways, they are incredibly intuitive about certain things. They come up with things that I go, wow, I need to write that down. That's fantastic. And then in the next breath, they'll start talking about all this cuckoo crappiola stuff that is just garbage, the 12-strand DNA thing. No, there ain't no 12-strand DNA. It's chemically impossible. It's stupid. It's unbelievably dumb. And then I hear them talking about protons and neutrons. And these people clearly don't understand what protons and neutrons are. They should stick to the things that they're getting, the clear, good stuff that they're getting from their soul. But then they go and they take their database of stuff they've picked up from human schooling and they try and stick it together. It don't stick together. Don't do it. It don't stick together. The stuff you learn from human school don't go with your soul work. It don't. No. All of this stuff, it's Illuminati garbage. It's so much garbage. Garbage. So even putting what you're getting from your soul into English is not easy. Because English is a language of me and you. And primarily it's used for transactions, which has nothing to do with higher consciousness and wisdom. So I don't know how else to tell you. You've got to disconnect from group mind, hive mind, monkey mind. You've got to get yourself isolated where you can meditate and connect with source directly and then get more sleep. Drink way more water. You need way more water than what people are doing. The best way to look to see when you're peeing, you need to be peeing pretty much clear. If it's very deep yellow, you're not drinking enough. What else can you do? Well, you can bring water with you everywhere. I buy bottled water and bring it with me everywhere. Some environmentalists say that's horrible for the environment. Sorry, you need the water more than we have to worry about the plastic. Okay, so if you are dehydrated, in other words, if you've got very deep yellow pee or brownish pee, you can get lecithin and take this. This will help get water into your cells. How long is this going to keep up for? As people awaken, more and more people awaken, more and more people are going to need to have confirmation that what they're seeing is real. Because, as I said earlier, are you okay? Are you okay? You're seeing like angel numbers. Are you okay? Yeah, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry. So this is the problem, is when people start to awaken, they go right back to sleep again because of fear. Judgment by other twats. Sorry if you don't like the word. It's the idiot's parade. It's idiots who are influencing you, and they are not awake. And what are the things they're doing? They're doing gaslighting. You look up gaslighting. It is telling you that you're crazy. You are not crazy. These are real things. And gaslighters, they're the worst people. And they use it for their business. They go at you by giving you negative scenarios. They're constantly reframing everything into a negative scenario. I'm worried about you. I'm worried about this car that you've got. It's going to break down. You need to go with me and we're going to buy a new car. I don't like your house. We got to buy you a new. It's always about buying things, and it's always about going to see a doctor. These people, you need to cut them out of your life. They're toxic. Toxic people, gaslighters. Horrible thing to be around them. And when you're awake, you know when someone's gaslighting you. You know it, and then you start calling them out on their dark. This is darkness. It is darkness. It's black magic. Do you get through to them? Little by little. I've got people that gaslight me, and it's been going on for years. You think by now they would know not to gaslight me? No, because they gaslight everybody else. And they forget that you can't play that game with me. They forget it. Why do they forget it? Because they got a one-track negative mind. And the reason that they do negative mind is that they get a lot of ego juice out of it. Oh, I'm the one everyone looks to for advice. Pay me because you come to me for advice. I'm a consultant. This is the way the world has been. This is the old school, the way that we're leaving. But people who are getting a lot of this ego juice and a lot of ego money from doing this, I don't want to give it up. There is more, but I'll put it in the next talk. Thank you for watching. I'm Harry Weaver, and on Instagram, we're Burroughs Bobby, and on YouTube, we're Infinite Bob 99.